So I'd like to welcome Cathy King. Cathy is a project manager for the ICANN project, and she's looking forward to helping bring the vision of this project to reality. Cathy joins us as a former provincial coordinator for Alberta Education's video conferencing regional leads network and the vice president of Natera Alliance. Cathy brings a vast background in video conferencing and technology support for education through her prior roles, and she is excited about providing leadership, support and nurturing new opportunities for community members across the province. For the past 8 years, Cathy's professional experience has given her the opportunity to lead and work with researchers and educators at the University of Alberta and other post-secondary institutions across Canada in the areas of distance education, high-performance computing, visualization, video streaming and technology-based collaboration. Some highlights of her video conferencing expertise include conceptualization, development, implementation and management of several inter-institutional collaborative video conferencing projects and programs. Coordination, development and production of video conference training seminars on various research and educational technologies. Coordination, development and production of provincial video conferencing seminar series. Execution of video conferencing evaluation studies for various post-secondary institutions. Investigation and publication of usage techniques and critical success factors in video conferencing. And provincial, national and international seminars and collaborations of a video conference on various topics. Cathy looks forward to being a resource and mentor for the ICANN project and working together with participating communities to bring new opportunities to all Albertans. So welcome, Cathy.
Holy mouthful, Jan, but thank you. So I'm happy to be here, and thank you, Jan, for the introduction. I'm representing ICANN today as the project manager, and ICANN stands for Innovating Communities, Connecting and Networking. So it's a partnership between Literacy Alberta, the Community Learning Network, and Volunteer Alberta, representing about 180 sites and representation in communities where we're focusing on lifelong learning, education, providing literacy support, employability programs, professional development, specialized services, and increasing administrative efficiencies, as well as bringing specialized resources like what we're doing today to any community regardless of your location, so that you have the same access to high quality resources that I would here living in Edmonton. So I'm just going to take you through a quick pictorial tour in our 5-minute to 8-minute time slot of what that might look like. The project just kind of started in the spring, and we're just having our first initial pilots in terms of rollouts in our community, and this is where we hope to go and the impacts we hope to have. All right. So this is one of our sites out in the eastern part of Alberta, and as much as I love driving on the secondary highways, Highway 26, 13, and I think 887 now are my best friends, I wouldn't want to do that in the middle of winter. So our hope is that by putting in infrastructure, we can provide things like professional development. So if I do live in Killam, it doesn't matter. I can get training brought to me in my community, work with other experts and colleagues, and have that support right within my own community jurisdiction, so then I can also experience lifelong learning, growth, and support for my own profession. You might be familiar with this picture here, guys. That's our a snapshot from this morning in terms of the Communities Without Boundaries. It's all about knowledge sharing. It's about us being able to get together with our busy schedules, not having to drive down the road 4 hours and hope that it's not going to snow, to be able to share with each other and work together to enhance all of our communities, not so that we are not creating the haves and have-nots. Learning, literacy, and collaboration. It shouldn't matter where our kids grow up in the province. They should have access to experts. They should have access to connect, like in this picture, with kids from Virginia. And they were doing literacy programs together in terms of reading and sharing books. So regardless of where we're connected, we should have access to the global collection of resource using technology as a tool. Leadership and public speaking. We had high school students out in Olds, and Vicki Dirksen joined us this morning, I'm not sure if she's still there, that facilitated Le Fête de Printemps. And that was a second language collaboration all day. And the students not only were able to do leadership, public speaking, but they also were able to support in multi-sites the learning of French language and sharing of French culture. Global Connections. This is a school site in northern Nicaragua. They don't have access to the resources we do. So we did fundraisers for them and had over 35 schools connect in North America to raise funds and to be global citizens. So we went down there and did a real live connection with these students back to Alberta and across North America. So regardless if I live in Oyen, if I live in High Prairie, Gruard, if I'm in an urban center, we should have access using tools that are at our fingertips and the SuperNet to provide this community engagement. Now, I'm just going to read you a quick story. This is an important one because I think this really speaks to what the session is about, and that's rural quality of life. And so what is our project trying to do in terms of sharing that story? The little girl in the picture that you're seeing is Caitlin. She has spina bifida. The image on the TV is her kindergarten class connected to her via video conferencing. She is out in rural area, Onaway, Sangudo area. She doesn't have a chance to participate in school, and so we brought school to her. And I'm just going to read you a letter from her mom because this is really what rural quality of life is all about. This letter is to thank you all for setting up the video conferencing between Caitlin and the Davis Owens Elementary School kindergarten. This is such an awesome opportunity for Caitlin. The joy of watching her eyes light up is so important for us. This is because Caitlin doesn't get the opportunity, like other children, to get a lot of internal excitement. Her routines in a day and her surroundings are the same every day. This opportunity is allowing Caitlin to see her own age children, watch them get excited about seeing her, and in return, she has that sense of excitement. On Caitlin's birthday, her classmates gathered together and sang happy birthday to her. For about 15 minutes before, Caitlin wasn't tolerating being off her BiPAP machine. Her oxygen was low and her heart rate was high. I thought for sure I would have to put her back on her machine. As soon as she saw and heard the kids, her numbers went right back up to normal, and I did not have to put her on her machine. Her face lit up and she listened inventively. The students then all sent her an individual greeting, and she responded verbally after each greeting. It was truly an emotional and extraordinary experience for all of us. I hope this will be a continued part of Caitlin's education. This put the missing piece of her education in place. She has a wonderful teacher and the program she is receiving is superb. Now she has the opportunity to be involved in the classroom from her home. Thank you for this chance to provide Caitlin with a normal education, even though she has a severe disability. That's what ICANN's all about. Is not only are we providing support from an education perspective, we're providing support for her parents. We're providing support for those community members who may have barriers to learning. We're providing that support in terms of bringing external resources in terms of professionals that you might not locally have access to out to your community, regardless of where you're at. So that's what the ICANN project is going to be doing over the next 2 years. With that, we're rolling out 180 endpoints in terms of video conferencing and other supportive tools so that we have resources accessible at your fingertips. And I apologize for my phone. And essentially, it all comes down to creating these communities without boundaries, to connecting their communities together, to working with the specialists that we have, regardless of geographic location, so that we can support our community members, the families, the kids, those who have special needs, regardless of where you live. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Jan, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Cathy. The ICANN project is funded by Alberta Advanced Education and Technology through the Access to the Future Fund. And Cathy's presentation demonstrates how all of these sessions are connected through health, learning, and quality of life. So thank you, Cathy.